everybody, and welcome back to Dyson with Death.
Yeah, welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to all of our amateur blacksmiths in chat, keeping us honest with the crafting, with the forging.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not forging unless you hit it with a hammer. Cool. So where were we? I think I've got probably a couple more checks to make, and then maybe we can do some adventuring too. How about that?
Yeah. So what do you need to check?
So I think I need to make the mold for the helm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For the helm,
still plugged in.
I'm still here. I just need to open the door. Do you really need to make a mold for the helm? I don't think you cast a helm. I think you beat out plates and bend them to your will.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think you need to do a mold check for this one. I think this is just going to be a straight blacksmithing check.
You still pour it. You're still going to mold it into something, even if it's just a sheet, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need to pour it onto something.
That's true. You do need to get it into a sheet that you can then manipulate.
Right. So when I say like the mold for the coins would have probably just been a cylinder, right? That you pour into a sand cylinder that you pour the coins into, or the hammer would have just been like a brick that you would like a gap that you pour it into and then work with that.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess I just get all that right. So I guess I just need like some sort of dish shaped thing somewhere I can pour the.
Sure. So you can go and collect some sand, and you must have a source of water. Oh yeah, you did create water in a barrel or something.
Yeah,
right?
But that only does a couple of gallons. I mean, that's enough to survive on. I do need to keep track of rations. Crap. Was there a source of food nearby? Because I have 8 pounds, which is basically gone at this point.
No, I think you're...
Oh, there was... Didn't I find meat somewhere? And I think I purified it even.
I think there was some monster food, but I think you added that to your food list already, because you spent about a week cruising around in the hills. So you're probably actually running out of food about now.
Yeah. So I probably run out before I even get to making this helm.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see about foraging, I guess, or foraging rather than forging.
Foraging rather than forging?
Yeah.
Okay.
See what all's around here. Right. Because I think right about now I'm starting to get hungry. Is there nothing around that I can purify within the forge? There's no like spoiled rations. That scorpion corpse, where was that?
That's a few days ago. It's probably been taken by now by something.
Yeah. So I hear that rumbling in my belly. You can't forge on an empty stomach. My old instructor out at Dwarf Academy used to say. So let's have ourselves a luncheon.
Okay.
So I guess I'm going to go wandering into the Hemdercross Hills looking for something to eat.
All right. You are a craftsman, not a survivalist or a hunter or a scavenger. No. You're also of the noble family, so, this is maybe not a skill set you're adept with.
All right. I take my goat with me, all loaded up. Come on, goat. Let's see what we can find. Worst case scenario, we can purify some rat meat or something. There's got to be something living out here. So I think I'm going to stay away from the basilisks. Head out roughly west into the hills in search of...
All right. You head west in search of some amount of food from something somewhere. Perfect. That's exactly what I needed to know. After a half day of trekking or so, you find yourself in another little valley to the southwest. And here you find some running creeks. You get the impression that these are creeks that, as they flow downriver, will eventually become the Honey Rapids River. But you're in the pre-river stage of this in particular creek. It's maybe 4 or 5 inches deep, 6 inches wide, with some small grasses and little bushes and shrubs growing nearby on the banks, giving greenery to an otherwise, brutal red and brown wasteland around you, baked by the hills.
Perfect. So I will explore briefly, maybe spend, I don't know, less than an hour on the shores of the river here, searching the area, searching the woods, see if it's occupied, if there's traffic, signs of civilization, or what's the opposite of civilization? Signs of barbarism,
Desolation?
goblin activity.
No, yeah. So you're looking around for signs of this,
check or
that, or
something?
the other thing. Please do.
Perception is 11. Nope. I forgot to take my helmet off.
Yep, so you can't see anything. Well, that's fine, because you're looking along the river. When you do come across what looks like an old fishing trap, where there's like a circle of stones, and then like a little way in for the fish and a little way out for the fish, but it's really awkward and fish just get confused and go in circles in this area.
Yeah, are there any fish in it?
There's no fish in it. No, you haven't seen any fish in the creek at all. It seems maybe like it's doesn't have enough water at this point for the fish to be this far up.
That was my first thought, actually, is I was going to run back to the forge, make some fishing hooks or something, and see if I can fish in this creek.
None here.
But I'll keep walking along the bank and see if I can find it. Did I hear a fox or a wolf or something? Is that a thing? Or is that just the soundtrack?
That's the soundtrack, but there's probably coyotes in these hills. You might hear one from time to time.
I don't know if I want to eat a coyote, but desperate times, eh? Okay, so I follow along the bank of the river.
They're fast little creatures. You follow along the creek until it does merge with other few creeks, and you get to a point where it's now maybe a couple feet deep and maybe 20 feet across. So you've got a nice full-fledged creek. And in here, you do spot a fish or two swimming about.
Would it be sacrilegious to call upon the light of Sayor to sun scorch a fish for me to eat?
I think these fish, anything underwater is protected from sun scorch.
All right.
I think that is a fair ruling.
Cool. But there are fish in this river here.
There are fish in here. I'm calling on the power of the gods to like send down a ray of light to kill your prey for you is
Right, it's one thing as a wizard to magic missile birds or whatever to eat, but
right
when you're asking for divine intervention for your fishing.
Yeah,
I'm getting a bit of cam lag over here, but I guess we'll ride it out. So fishes,
all the fishes in the sea.
Is there a way that a non-survivalist can wander around and find other sources of food, or do I need to go fishing?
Yeah, you can keep looking for.
Right, if I wander along the banks, am I going to find snacks, or should I go back to the forge to make some fishing hooks?
If you wander along the banks,
are the fish dumb enough that I can
dice.
like halberd spear a fish? Like, are they? Is it literally just like, oh my god, there's a giant trout right there, and I just like smack it with a pole and like polearm fish it?
You might be able to polearm fish it.
Right.
It's going to be more difficult than one would expect because the angle of the water where you see the fish is not actually where
hungry.
it is.
I think that's what we get. We get a Zweihaard polearm fishing montage, and let's hope I don't fall in because I don't think I have a swimming proficiency.
All right.
So can I just roll the hit against fishes?
Sure, but you'll have some sort of penalty because angles.
Normally you get -4 for attacking in water, right? Is that what it is?
Sure. Yeah, we can give you a -4.
Right. How did we kill off Versa? Right. It's a -4 to hit and -4 to AC. Is that what? Is that what?
Except the fish doesn't have a penalty of it to AC, but -4 to hit the fish.
So normally I'm at +1. So it'll be at -3 with a 10.
The fish has higher than 10 AC.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I splash around in the water.
You splash
and
around for the
probably scare
water
all
and
the fish.
scare them all off, and you have to spend like...
Is fishing an actual proficiency?
Yes. And so you got to spend like another 10 minutes walking around the river looking for the fish again.
All right, in light of that, can I make a non-proficient fishing test? Or something, like a fishing test with mad penalties to...
That might be a better way of doing this.
Right, because I assume that has, like, timing involved and stuff.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to try to fish without proper equipment and without any fishing knowledge is where we're at.
Okay, fishing is wisdom -1. So you would do it at wisdom -5.
Not -6. I'm at 13, so mine would be at 8. RD20 plus 8 for my fishing skill. 24.
All right.
So how many? Is there a description for proficiencies?
There is. I just didn't look at it.
Unopened proficiencies. Google Doc.
Loading. Fishing. Character skilled in the art of fishing, be it with hook and line, net, or spear. Each hour the character spends fishing, roll a proficiency check. If the roll has failed, no fish are caught for that hour. Otherwise, a hook and line or a spear will land fish equal to the difference between the die roll and the character's wisdom score. A net will catch 3 times this amount. So it looks like you get 9 fish.
Oh wait, 9 fish.
Oh,
so this is using the previous. So we need to have how much you clear by is how much.
Yeah. So this will be 3 fish for you.
I think a 21 should still give you fish, right? So it'll be
21
4.
will give you 1 fish. Yeah. So 24 would give you 4 fish. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty good. So I think I start up a fire right here on the bank of the river and roast up these fish that I just caught.
Wonderful. I kind of feel like instead of having a penalty of 4 or 5 for a non-proficiency check, it should just be your stat is halved. We don't have to retcon anything, but I'd like you to think about that going forward.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
So for me, that would have been half of 13 is a 6. So it would have actually been even worse than that if we did that halved, but next time.
Right. So you would have rolled a 22 instead of a 24.
But it's fine. Enough fish to eat.
Right. Because that will keep people who have like an 18 in the stat from being much better at things that they don't know how to do than people who are trained at it but with a low, like an average stat, you know?
Okay. So I think that this probably, but I mean, the act of cooking probably turns this into a several-hour process, and the days probably...
The days roll by.
And I think I probably nap out in the woods. Me and Goat. Yeah. Can't exactly keep watch, but...
Oh no, I didn't finish fleshing this out. How sad. I thought I had a document all ready for us, and I don't. Okay, so you spend the night out here in the hills, snacking on fish, hanging out with Goat, who's very happy to eat all of the grasses that are found along the riverbank here. You haven't seen Goat this happy since you were traveling to your home from your academy. This is the last time Goat was this happy.
I didn't know goats could get happy.
They get happy. They definitely do. Filled with... I mean, they're not, like, joyous and smiling and laughing and prancing around, but you can just, you know... It's just a slightly less depressed creature. I often imagine goats a lot like Eeyore. Just kind of, like, plodding along, my life is miserable, and this goat's kind of like, oh, life is not that bad. It's fine. Anyway.
Yeah.
Enough goat talk.
So we're in Eridon right now, right?
You are in Eridon, yes, sir.
Cool. Where is the... Oh, across the canal here is... Is that Drekis? Oh, no, that's
no.
Mystria, right?
That you just pinged is Sylvis.
Sylvis.
This is the
okay.
Elven Lands. Mystria is down here.
Okay. Mystria is the Dragon Kingdom, right?
Yeah, it's the kingdom that has a dragon that's been kicking its ass.
Yeah, okay, cool. Just brushing up on my Arcadia lore.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So, am I ambushed in the night?
Let's find out. You are not ambushed in the night. You wake up the next morning having fished. Your goat is still around, sleeping somewhere. You can make another fishing check in the morning if you'd like some breakfast and take something home with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think the four fish I caught yesterday is...
It's probably dinner and breakfast.
Probably, yeah. But I think I do want to keep fishing and build up a supply so I can not worry about and maybe and then maybe spend a few hours foraging as well.
Okay.
So there's a fishing check, which is a fail, but that's an hour, right? So I can make
make 8 of them.
8 of them a day.
Yeah.
Probably don't want to make that many, but I'll at least start. Okay, so there's 1 fish. So there's my morning, and I get 1 fish.
Brutal.
I think I'm going to spend the afternoon trying something else instead. I've been like splashing around, and then this
with this halberd trying to spear these things.
And the ones that are left are the smarter ones, and they're starting to steer clear. So I'm going to walk a little ways further up the bank and see if I can find like a supply of berries or I don't know. So I think switch over to survival, see if I can have my luck there. So survival is what it would be to gather.
Yes.
And if I recall from Ferris, it's like 2d6 turns.
Yes.
Why can't I find survival?
So it is typically take 2d6
Survival
turns to forage food for 1 person.
Right? Mm-hmm. Survival is int. My int is 12 divided by 2 is also 6. So it's the same check, but I just switching it up narratively.
Right.
And the timing on this one is, so I should make a check every
2d6 turns to forage food for 1 person, or you can just go every 2 hours. You make a check for 1 to 2 days worth of food.
Okay, 1 to 2 days. Is that
for every 2 hours spent.
All right, so there's 2 more d20. I fail. 13 is a fail, so that's 4 hours. That's the whole day gone. And
brutal.
So I wander up and down this riverbank. Don't find much food. I've got a few fish.
You're hanging on.
So how far have I made it? I'm like somewhere. Or which side of the river did I wind up on? I was imagining myself on this north side here, but maybe I'm...
Sure, you probably crossed back and forth a few times while you were fishing, and you find yourself just outside of the Hemderkost Hills, kind of in the start of the Golden Sea, in that weird area where like it becomes forested, and you are on the west side of that river.
Yeah, and I make camp for the night. I think I like cook get the last of my fish cooked up, but I probably eat through it. And I find myself far from the forge, no better off than I was when I started. But hey, we'll try again tomorrow.
Will you make me a perception check?
Yeah. My perception, I think, is 11. Nailed it. Oh. I've got my helm off. That's sitting in the dirt next to my stump around the fire.
So it's actually
I don't actually have a fire building proficiency.
You do?
I don't. I said.
Okay.
So I think there's probably a lot of fuss, but I assume the hills are dry and I can get a campfire started without much trouble.
Yeah. I think you only really need the fire building proficiency if you have...
It's like starts raining or something.
If you have inadequate supplies.
Yeah. Okay. So
you're laying down in your camp, resting. It's nighttime, and you wake up because you hear the sound of very soft footfalls in your camp.
I sit up, and I think I immediately give myself away. Who's there? And I go for my axe is in my hand before
you sit up.
A second thought, and I do
you
have
see
improvision.
Two smallish men. They look to be humans. They're small and wiry. One of them is standing next to Goat, having grabbed Goat's mane with a hand and has a big dagger in the other. and the other one was like creeping up towards you when you sit up. And there's like a pause as they get caught in the headlights, the metaphorical headlights here.
Yeah. So I think we need to roll for initiative.
We're going to need to roll for initiative because they have weapons in hand and they are ready to fuck something up.
What, are you gonna murder my goat? Battle axe is for 7.
They roll initiative and they get 6 and 9.
Okay. So which is which?
The first one is standing next to Goat. Still a hand of mane, dagger at the ready, but doesn't actually kill Goat. Is instead biding its time and kind of calculating, like waiting to see what you're gonna do. The other one is right over you, but you get your axe up and ready before it gets a chance to do anything to you.
So I get to a stand, I bring the axe around. Is Goat out of my reach?
Yeah, Goat's a few feet away. You could stand and walk to a Goat. But I think you intentionally tie him up a few feet away from you so he doesn't like come and
I was
poop on you
wondering
in
if
the
I
night.
could I like give his rope a yank to like startle Goat and see if I can send Goat against the guy that's got a knife to his throat. I don't know. I try and startle Goat as I stand up, whirl my battle axe around, and I'm gonna strike the guy, the one not on Goat, the one coming to me.
All right, go for it.
With the 12 to hit, I assume they don't have high dex.
Actually, these creatures do have.
Oh,
high
creatures!
dex.
It's not a
humanoids.
I mean, I was
yeah.
like, it's a human.
Yeah. But it is a very close hit. You do hit him, but 12 is the number to roll here.
It's like 16 dex. Is it a human?
It's a human. Yeah, it's a small human, like an underfed street rat who's hanging outside of town, sort of human.
Oh, only 1 point of damage.
Your
I
blow.
nick him with a battle axe.
Yeah, it just glances against the
Is
creature.
is it wearing leathers or something?
No, it's just wearing
armor?
like bits of cloth, like little raggy bits.
All right, so I think I just like nip it with my axe as I stand up, get ready, try to startle Goat. Does Goat get startled? Should we roll a check to see if...
Goat is easily startled and starts and starting to pull away from the creature next to it.
What, you gonna kill my goat? So you keep saying creature, now that I'm
I said
sort of
creature
up and-
once, I think.
Yeah.
It's humans, people, monsters.
Men. Monsters.
To you, they're monsters. They're trying to kill you and your goat. Doesn't that innately make them a monster? Maybe. Anyway, the one before you that you just barely nick with your battle axe steps forward and tries to run a dagger into your chest with a natural 20. Well, your AC is
got
just
me.
10.
I guess you're right, I don't have my armor on.
Yeah, so that'll clear by 10, so it'll be a single crit. And do a whopping 3 points of damage on 2d4.
Still.
Yeah. The dagger sinks in, like right above your ribs, right in your right breast, but hits the bone and comes to a solid stop before it can pierce you too much. The one handling Goat tries to gain control of it. So we'll do opposed strength checks between the smallish human and the Goat, which does not go well for the human. He's trying to like drag the Goat to the ground and keep it steady and keep it calm, but the Goat just starts pulling him away, and it's stubborn as a mountain mule. Let's roll initiative for the second round. They both go at the same time. They both go at 6.
I get a 1. 5.
You go first.
Let's try this again. A 16 ought to do it.
That is a nice hit.
2 points of damage to the one next to me. Still up?
It's still up. It's barely even phased by these minor blows that you're slapping it with. It comes in once more with a dagger and a 7 to hit, which is a wild miss.
Switch languages, I guess. I was probably initially cursing in Dwarven. I'll try Eridonian Common.
And what do you say?
Who are you? What do you want? Does he hit or miss?
He misses. He rolls a 7 to hit. It's a
And the other
Wild
one?
stab. The
one
other one
wrestling goat?
is trying to wrestle the goat still, and does not get the goat to the ground at all. He's having a really hard time goat wrestling. The one before you says, "Your goat and your valuables. Give them up. We'll let you go."
My most valuable thing is this axe. Perhaps you can wrest it from your head.
We'll take the coins
As
then.
I-
We'll just take the coins.
Only 1 point of damage.
Oh my god.
My second attack for the round.
All right, so it's been a slight cut, another slight cut, and finally, a bash with the flat of the axe against his face.
He's still up.
He's still up. It's been 4 damage. The creature
Let's
doesn't really seem
roll
bothered by it.
initiative, right? Unless Goat gets a kick in.
Goat's just standing there baying.
Okay, initiative 10.
All right, the one before you stabs you again for another 1 point of damage. The one wrestling the goat goes dead last, and you.
All right. Another hit
Another hit.
for 5.
This time for 5 damage, which is a
This
pretty
time the axe
substantial
strikes
blow.
home.
Yeah, you hit it right in the side, and the person begins to take a few steps back, a little bit more
He's
wary.
still up, so that's a total of like 9 points of damage.
Yeah, it's wary. He calls to the other one in
16
some
dex
sort of
and more than 9 HP. What are these brigands?
calls to the other one who reluctantly lets go of the goat and comes to stand beside his friend a few feet away from you. And they, in some hushed voices, whisper back and forth to each other.
I do have a buckler, but it takes a round to put a shield on, right?
A full shield takes a round. A buckler you could probably just grab.
I think it is I think it's a shield.
Okay, yeah, if it's
I
a
don't know
light
that-
or a medium shield, it needs to be like properly
Actually, it's
strapped to your
giving me
arm.
2. Shield is giving me 2 AC with the specialization, so I think it is just a buckler.
I think it's a buckler then. You can just pick that up in a round. That's
Okay.
not a problem.
All right. Okay. So I picked that up off the ground.
Yeah.
So let's say my AC is now up.
Yeah. The 2 scrawny people are looking at you,
So they
and then they
circle
begin
around.
to split up and try and get you in a pincer.
Who are you? Do I look them up and down? Do they look? They don't feel like ordinary brigands.
Yeah,
Do they look like?
give me a perception check. You're a dwarf, so you've got dark vision, making them
Yeah,
much
how are
easier to
they
spot.
fighting? How are they fighting without combat penalties?
It's a good
Perception
question.
check nailed. 27. These aren't men.
These are small, wiry men, and you're beginning to get the old feeling that these are maybe were-rats, creatures that have haunted your people for ages.
Then are my attacks totally ineffective?
Probably, they will heal non-magical damage fairly quickly, or non-silver damage fairly quickly.
Yeah.
So you can, in theory, you could be able to kill them before they can regenerate, but they will be regenerating damage rapidly. The 1s and 2 blows are probably totally
Yeah.
ineffective.
Back rats. Did I already go this round?
No,
Yes.
this round hasn't started yet.
Okay, so we need to roll initiative.
Yes.
Has the second one closed to
No,
me?
we're going to start, and they're beginning to split and circle at the beginning of the round.
How far? You said goat was, so they were at least like a square, at least 5 feet from me.
Yeah.
I kind of want my if I get a halberd up in time, I would have an opportunity attack against.
Do you
No,
wanna
we're gonna keep doing
jump for
battle
the
axe. No, we'll do battle axe and shield. I'll finish the one in front of me.
Roll initiative.
D10 plus 4. Oh, so slow.
So slow.
They circle around me and
a
AC 12 now with the shield, although only against one of. I can turn once in a round, right? So can I? So I can get a.
No, the buckler can only target one person in a round. That's,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
it's only-
So a 10 and an 11 are going to be misses. I guess one of them will probably hit.
It depends. My AC is 12 with a buckler. One of them gets around, so it depends which is which.
I mean, if a 10 will hit you, right?
A 10 won't hit me. A 10, so I block it with a buckler, and I guess
Right,
the
but
11
then the 11
hits.
will hit you. Yeah. So one of them will hit you. for another 1 point of damage. Time to switch up my d4s.
What are they striking? These are just daggers?
These are just daggers, yeah. Long, slender daggers.
Oh, I should be...
It's your turn.
All right, and then I think this is a 2-attack round.
Yes.
So I swipe at the one that I've been attacking. 17.
Solid blow, maybe? Ugh.
2 points of damage.
Just a graze.
And I guess I swing at him again with a 6 as a missing. Back rats. Oh, I can make free offhand punches, but that's dumb, isn't it? Because I still I get combat penalties for doing so.
Yeah.
Why did I even take that style? I didn't think it through. It's useless.
Maybe. We should not be going back to this. We should stay here. All right. It's maybe looking a little bit bad for Zweihaard. He's got 2 were-rats. They've surrounded him. What's your HP at? Is it falling slowly, right?
Yeah, what time of day? I'm at 8. I'm keeping track of it in roll 20.
It's late at night, you know.
Yeah, I should have cast Strength of Stone off the bat, but I kind of got ambushed. That's all I really got. Mm-hmm. Since I'm down to 1 attack round, I guess I'm gonna I'll spare a round to cast a Strength of Stone.
Okay. Is that a full round casting?
No. It is casting 10-4, so I'm...
You casting
plus 4, 12, nope. All right, so I back up, summon the strength of my dwarven ancestry.
Calling on the gods to help you out. One of them pops in with a 5, and the other pops in with an 11.
So I think I don't need to waste the block on the first one.
Right.
So the 5 wildly misses, and I can turn around, bring up my buckler in time to deflect an 11.
Yeah, it catches right in the edge of the shield as your Strength of Stone spell goes off.
And then we roll initiative for the next round.
So your strength increases by d4 or to a minimum of 16. So what's it go up to?
16. Initiative.
Okay, what's your base strength?
12.
Okay, so it's always just going to go to 16.
Yeah.
They both go at 10, same time.
I said back rats, and a 3.
Your bulging muscles are no use against the nimble little were-rats. One of them goes in for a tackle against you and just tries to knock you to the ground and get this axe out of your hand.
I get an attack of opportunity as he does so, unless he's in some monstrous form.
He's not in any monstrous form. He's in a human form.
At +4, I believe.
Sure, but not to damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 13 should hit.
It does. You get a... Oh, did you also get the +1 for
5 points of damage? Yeah.
Strength is 16 now.
16 is just +1 to damage, correct?
Oh, you're right. Okay. For 5 points of damage.
Was that the one I had been chipping on, or is this the fresh one?
This is a fresh one, but at this point they're both full HP because they're healing. So you catch him for 5 points of damage. He tackles you anyway, despite the wound on his side, and give me an opposed strength check against the were-rat. 12. Oh, you just have to beat a 16.
30.
So head down, tries to shoulder tackle the dwarf in the waist, and the dwarf just stands there solid as an oak as the were-rat's trying to...
I think he's dropped his dagger in the process, right? You can't wrestle with the dagger.
I mean, you probably can, but he's
the other
trying
one
to
goes
shoulder
for a regular
tackle you. Mm-hmm. The other one just goes to stab at you with a 9, 10, 11.
Nope, I've got a shield.
Yep. Okay, let's do initiative.
Have I gone? I did. Was that? Hold on, let me. Yeah, I think. Okay, so I think this is my 2 attack round coming up.
Yeah.
Oops. Rolling d10. Oh, 13.
Beautiful. They both go at 11. It's tied initiatives. So the one on you is going to try and drag you to the ground. Opposed strength check if you don't mind. Beat a 23.
28.
All right. So it tries to lift you and kick your legs out and just throw you to the ground. But again, just solid, low center of gravity dwarf cannot be moved by the were-rat. The other one is trying to use this opportunity just to stab you over and over and over again, but rolls a 4.
Bringing up my shield.
Yeah,
Dink.
the shield comes up and it's just missing all over the place.
I've been keeping an eye out for any other rats.
No, it's just the
No
two
one
of
else
them.
is like looting my camp while I'm getting ambushed here. Goat's still standing over there tied to a tree or whatever.
Yep.
All right, I assume I get an advantage on a rat that's trying to bring me to the ground, right? He's
Yeah,
right there. I
he's
consider
right
him
there.
held.
Maybe
a
not
so
fully
+4?
held. I'll give you like a +2 because he's grabbing onto you and moving you around.
Right,
So there's-
11. Does he lose dex penalties for wrestling?
Yes,
Okay. So does an 11 hit? Or does
11
he
will
have
hit.
thick-
AC will just be 10 on this guy.
All right. So that's 7 points of damage.
Ooh. He
And-
drops to
Oh, he does.
his knees. He doesn't
Okay, so-
die, but he drops low. Like
I think he
Shudders.
dies, Neal. Because I just crit him, right? The 22?
Yes, you do crit him. Give me 2d8 plus 1.
12 points.
All right, so you
Do
get
I
him like
decapitate the were-rat?
yeah, you crack him in the side. He drops to the ground. As the flesh starts to heal over, you just bring the head off the body, rolling away. The other were-rat sees his companion die. They're not used to the threat of death being that real, and immediately books it.
I get an attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
Can I get
out
a
of your wrists? You
Yeah,
get back
so
attack +2.
back.
Yeah.
5
No.
as a miss? Can I? Yeah.
And the other one just starts to run. You already used both your attacks in this round.
Yeah.
So it just bolts off into the
Well,
night.
we get it hasn't gone. Yeah, I mean that was its move at the end, or it already went this round.
All right, so,
I think
that was
we
a
roll
half
initiative.
move at the end for him. Yeah. So I guess maybe you could catch
I guess
up.
it doesn't matter. What? Yeah.
Yeah. Roll initiative. He gets an 8.
It's gonna be faster than me. Let's just see. 13. So he gets ahead of me. I go huffing and puffing a little, but I at least see where he runs.
He runs northward along the river banks. And
Don't come
disappears.
back, you stinky rat!
Yeah. All right. The battle
Wave my axe at
has
him.
ended. The were-rats have been killed or
I go
driven
to-
off.
I go to check my stuff to see if that one that ran got off with anything.
It doesn't look like they got anything of yours. It looks
I
like you
check-
woke up just as they were entering your camp.
And I check the body of the fallen were-rat for any equipment.
There's the decapitated head and the wound in the side, but that's it. And all the other wounds that you've inflicted on this creature have already stitched over before the
Yeah, I
final.
roll its head away. Has it reverted to a human or to?
It is in a hybrid form. Now it's got like a long kind of rat snout and a tail and these little ears. It's a little bit shorter than it was before. I think I can find a picture for us
From the books.
from the books, yeah.
Ah.
Looks like this minus the armor and with the dagger.
So it does take its rat form, or was it always a rat?
No, it was a human form before. It takes its rat form when it dies.
Cat raises an interesting question. Can you eat lycanthrope meat?
I'm sure you can put it in your mouth and chew it and swallow it. If you're asking whether it is
is it
nutritious, it's meat. Meat is meat is meat. You know? You can eat
I
dog.
think we'll
you
purify
can eat,
this one before we eat it.
Yeah, you can eat any creature.
How does it smell? Is it like a nasty sewer rat, or is it a wild hill rat?
It is not a sewer rat. It is a wild hill rat. So it's dirty, but not like there's not like things growing on it. You know.
Cool. So I think we'll probably have a pretty restless rest of the night's sleep. Mm-hmm. And the next morning, I'm gonna armor up, pack up goat, and drag this were-rat corpse into the back to the forge. I think I'm gonna leave the head.
Are you gonna
just
take
drag
it? Like, is
drag
the
the body.
were-rat going to be your food for the?
I
time
think
being?
I'm gonna stay fasted until I get back to the forge, and then when I get there, like purify it and roast it and eat rat for a couple weeks.
Okay. You head back to the forge. It'll take
I'm
you.
still on alert for any other food, so maybe I like do some survival checks as I walk. It's going to take a couple days,
Yeah.
so I'm on the lookout for anything I can eat. But and I think I'll just purify the food and drink when I get there. I think it's just sort of like baking in the sun as it drags behind me by the tail.
It's beginning to smell now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
But you got to get it nice and fetid so that the gods feel like they're getting their money's worth with the purified food and drink spell.
Yeah.
All right. Can I roll some survival checks as I walk? And then do we want to roll movement checks or
movement checks? Like distance?
Yeah, like distance.
No, that's fine. You're not. You can move at a steady rate.
Oh, I nailed the first day. So I think before I even get out of this little river basin, I find some stuff. How many? So I should roll 1d2 for a past survival check to gather food.
Yes, 1d2 days worth of food.
Only one day. So the first day I find enough food. Do we want to? How far do I move?
Oh, you definitely don't go that far. I just moved you. So you move at movement rate 6.
Yeah.
So you can go up to 12 miles a day. So half a day gets you to here, and then I think movement through hills is at 1/2 speed. So you probably then only get like through here.
Okay. I can probably get another hour of foraging in that night.
Yeah.
Critically failing. I think I lose a bit of rat in the process. It got snagged and I lost a claw.
Something a bit falls off here or there.
And yeah.
Where is the for? It'll take you. So the next check was for failure later that day. Are you just making one check a day while you travel?
I just did 2, so I'll make another one the next morning. Do I survive the night, or am
you
I...
do? Yeah, there were no encounters that first night. Cool. The next day you can move up to 12 miles total through the hills.
I crit
get you home.
Survival check in the morning. Does that give me double rations?
It doesn't. I don't have a rule for that.
Okay. Well, either way, I get 2 days.
Beautiful.
Gather some. I don't even know. What do you find in the hills? Some
I
roots
think you're finding.
Or
probably
like
roots
bark,
and
fungus.
You catch a lizard here. You catch a lizard there. You know, there's a tortoise that's just making its way across the hills, and you snag that.
And I make it back to the forge.
You make it back to the forge, definitely.
All right. So I'll go ahead and pray for my purified food and drink and set about making sure I don't have to worry about food for a little while so I can get on to the crafting. Purify this rat corpse and make a nice hill rat stew.
Excellent.
I probably shouldn't use the crucible to make my stew.
Definitely don't use the crucible to make your stew.
Hopefully I can find some other vessel. If not, I may need to make it. I need some metal.
You do.
I need to get back to civilization. It's dumb that I can't just buy shit.
Well, you're out here. There are old mines out here, and I think that's going to be your source of metal, is that you need to find a mine, pull some ore out, and melt it down. Like, the whole point of you being out here is being on your own and making things without the tools of civilization. And if you can do that, then you're welcome to come back home and be productive.
So I think for now we don't get to make our hill rat stew. We got to just split roast the guy and hang him over a fire. He doesn't have a head, so you can't even put an apple in it. But
just put the apple in the esophagus. Yeah.
And I think it's pretty nasty. I kind of just leave it over the smoldering coals to smoke for a while. Have some lycanthrope jerky. And I'll just peel that off the stick as I need sustenance throughout our endeavors.
Okay. Why don't we go to a second break while I look for the information, and we will be back with something, probably maybe some mining. We'll see. See you guys on the other side. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.